I'm going to be doing quite a few more videos on YouTube because I've been getting a huge response from TikTok, and thank you so much. It's been absolutely lovely knowing that you like what I'm doing, and also getting the feedback and looking at the followers rising. It's lovely. So the longer videos are going to go onto YouTube because 60 seconds just isn't quick in, it's too short a time for me to try and get over what I want to say. So all I'm doing there is giving you little snippets of what's helpful. The first thing I'm going to talk to you about is depression. Now, depression I know a lot about. I was depressed for over 40 years. I know I don't look that old. For over 40 years, and I was bedridden quite often for days at a time, maybe weeks at a time. I was bipolar as well, so I'd go off like a rocket at the other end. And the thing that kept me calm was drinking too much, smoking too much, a bit of a doobie from time to time. Luckily, I wasn't led down the drug route, but I think only because I knew I was incredibly addicted. I had a very, very addictive personality, and I knew that if I liked it and it made me feel good, that would be it. I would be there, hook, line and sinker. So, just to let you know, I'm giving you that not to make you feel bad, to get the violins out, not at all, but just to let you know that I've actually been there. So depression tends to be one, and I'm going to say you, dwelling in the pain of something that's hurt you, that's caused you pain. So it could be a trauma, it could be a childhood trauma or an injury, it could be bullying at school, it could be anything, any number of reasons. But what happens is that when you're depressed, you get stuck in a loop, and you stay in that loop because you don't realise that there are options to actually physically get out of it. And quite a lot of us who are depressed don't feel worthy of getting out of it. And I certainly didn't. I didn't think I was worth anything. So I didn't think anything would work. I didn't think I was worth fixing. That changed. I became I studied mindfulness, and then I became an NLP practitioner, so I studied NLP as well. And it was mindfulness and NLP that got me out of that. But the first three things I'm going to ask you to do are the things that physically worked for me. Now, it takes a bit of discipline. But it's not difficult to do, and regardless of whether you think you're worth it or you don't think you're worth it, or your life's a pile of shit, it doesn't matter. You still will be able to do these three things. And what will happen after probably about a month, you will start to notice the difference in your equilibrium. You will start to notice the difference in the way that you feel, because what you're doing is you're training your brain chemistry to change, and it is physically possible to do that without antidepressants. And I'm not saying if you're on them, come off them. I'm not saying that at all. If you're on antidepressants, stay where you are. Do not take any come off any drugs until you've actually taken advice from a medical practitioner. So the first three things I'm going to ask you to do is, for a whole week, every single night before you go to bed, and this is always my go-to list of things to do, regardless of what video I do about whatever topic it is. Usually it's because somebody's feeling low and feeling bad about themselves. So this is a go-to technique, but it worked with me with depression. So the first thing that you do for 1 week is to write down three things absolutely every day that you are grateful for. I haven't got anything to be grateful for. My life's shit. Well, actually, if you can see the video, then you've got a pair of eyes. If you can hear what I'm saying, then you've got a pair of ears. If you've got legs that move, or hands that work, or hair, whatever, you have got three things to be grateful for. So write down three things every single day that you've got to be grateful for. And even if it takes a week and you still write the same three things down, do it. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed. Then before you get up in the morning, before you pick up your phone to check your internet or your emails, or you turn the television on, before you physically do anything, pick up that piece of paper or your notepad and read those 3 things. And then get up and go on with your day. The other thing I would recommend that you do is that you actually learn to centre yourself before you start to read your emails and check your social media and turn on the news and so on. I suggest you actually get to grips with yourself first, so you know exactly what mood you're in before the outside world comes in and starts to influence you. So that's week 1. Week 1, you're writing 3 things that you're grateful for every single night before you go to bed, reading them first thing in the morning when you get up, checking in with yourself, how you're feeling, and if you're feeling negative, think about something positive, and then you can let the outside world in. It doesn't take very long. So week 2, you're going to build on this. Week 2, you are going to write down 3 things that you've done well. I don't do anything well, I'm rubbish. Well, actually, if you've managed to boot up your computer or you've turned your phone on, you've done that well. If you've made yourself a cup of tea, you've done that well. If you've had a shower, you've done that well. You will have done 3 things well. So you're adding to it. So now you've got a list of 6 things that you have to write down at the end of your day, and also read first thing in the morning when you wake up. And then week 3, do something kind for somebody else, or something kind. Now, I'm not asking you to go out and do something kind because you want praise for being such a good person. You're going to go out of it and do that just out of the pure kindness of your heart. So somebody needs a lift with her shopping, a smile to somebody who's looking low, and a morning to somebody who's looking low, picking up litter. Anything that you see that you know will make the world a better place, or something that you can do that you know will make the world a better place. Find one of those things to do every single day. So that's a little project for you to go on with for the next 3 weeks. So I would be really interested to see the difference in how you feel. Before you start the project, write down a little note of how you feel, and then in a few weeks, put a comment at the bottom of this YouTube video and let me know how it changes. What's happening is you're actually changing your brain chemistry, and you are training yourself to look out for positive things. What will happen is, if you are actually committed to doing it, is you will end up with a list as long as your arm at the end of the days, once you've got into the habit of doing it. And you will notice things as they happen that make you feel grateful, or you think, oh, I did that well, look at me, I'm doing a video. It might not be the best video in the world, but for me, this is pretty damn good. And doing something for somebody else and being kind, doing something that makes the world feel a better place, takes you out of yourself. It turns you into somebody giving. Now, all of that will change the chemistry in your brain. What you want to do is encourage oxytocin, serotonin, all those lovely good brain chemicals to actually flood into your brain. And what that'll also do is start to knock down the negative chemicals, so your cortisol and your adrenaline. The other thing is that if you can find a way to laugh every single day, that is one of the best ways of feeling good. Now, another quick tip to changing how you're feeling is breathe in through your nose, and whether you feel it or not, smile and say, ah. So breathe in through your nose. Try it now. And every time you notice yourself go, oh, oh, whatever, any time you notice this feeling come about you, Yeah, but I can't do that. I work in an office. Okay, but you can do it mentally. It works. You have to physically breathe in. So you breathe in and then mentally picture in your mind you going, ha. So try it with me. So you can do that in an office environment or in a crowd without people knowing what's going on. So those are a few tips for you to start to lift yourself up and start to heal. If you're struggling with depression, this will, if you put it into practice, help you to heal. Let me know how you get on. Give me a nudge in about 10 days. Let me know how you get on.